Good morning, students. Today we will have to discuss the permanent tissues of the anatomy of flowing gland. In previous lecture, we have discussed about the meristematic tissue, their types, their location, why the particular tissue is called meristematic tissue, and what are the characteristic features of that particular. Now, today we will have to discuss the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue means the cells of this tissue have lost their power of division. They may be living or non-living, but they lost their power of division. And we have discussed that it is of two types, that is the simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. The simple permanent tissue has number one, that is called parenchyma. Parenchyma. It is called thin wall isodiametric cells. It means this parenchyma is made up of cells which is thin walled. Thin walled means either primary or secondary cell wall. Tertiary cell wall or the pectin or the lignin deposition will not take place, and due to lack of this particular pectin or lignin depositions, these parenchymatous cells are living in nature. It has well marked intercellular space. It means it is like this. You will see here, more or less they are isodiametric, and it has intercellular space. The well differentiated cytoplasm is present here. The vacuoles are start to form, nucleus is also well developed, and they are living in nature. And on the basis of the different characteristic feature, it has been observed that a certain parenchyma have green pigment. Green pigment. So this type of parenchyma having green pigment means chlorophyll, that is called chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma. And it has been observed in certain cases these cells have air space. This is called air space. It means they provide buoyancy. If this parenchyma provide buoyancy to the aquatic plant, then it is called aerenchyma. Aerenchyma. It is present in the xylem also. It is called xylem parenchyma. But generally it has been observed that the parenchymatous tissues are present in ground tissues. Here you will see that we will discuss later on in detail. If you cut a section of the stem or root, then you will see that it is the ectoderm, it is the endoderm, and this is the cortex. And generally this cortex is parenchymatous. This is the parenchymatous. The cells are thin walled, isodiametric, living, having well marked intercellular space. Now, collenchyma. This is the second type of the simple permanent tissue. Collenchyma. It is also thin walled. But it has been observed that to do their work, it has certain depositions in the corner. It is not lignification. It is not the lignin deposition, but it is pectin. It means intercellular space is filled with the pectin, and this type of transmission of the materials are still continued in between the cell to cell, so it is also a living cell. Like parenchyma, which is chlorenchyma, arrenchyma, or they are mainly responsible for the storage of food. They are also provide storage, but in addition to that, they provide mechanical strength also and elasticity, flexibility. Generally, it has been observed this collenchyma is present at this position to provide the flexibility. When the air blows, they move hither and thither, then they provide flexibility as well as rigidity. Both will be provided by the collenchyma. But in case of the third, that is sclerenchyma, it has been observed sclerenchyma. It is dead cell, made up of dead cell. Dead cells. The death is due to lignification. Suppose this one is the cell. And this is the lignin. This is the lignin, which is impermeable. With another cell. And this one is the lignin. Same way, we can make a third cell also here. This one is lignin. Now, due to impermeability, what happens? The cells cannot donate anything to each other. The cell wall is so impermeable, so because of that they can't. Due to that, it is a dead body. It is a dead. But they provide mechanical strength due to this particular hard lignification. And on the basis of their shape, this lignin, this sclerenchyma is of the fibrous and sclerites. Fibrous and sclerites. There are two types of the parenchymas. It is mainly found in the husk of the coconut or the just in jute, and sclerites are present in the certain fruit walls like in the pear. It has been observed that in pear has this type of sclerites, that is the dead sclerenchymatous tissues. This is the whole about the simple permanent tissue. Now, the complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue. Xylem is the permanent tissue. which is made by the combination of the different vessels or tracheids xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. This vessel is mainly present in angiosperm and it is present in the gymnosperm. Now, vessel. It is a conducting tissue because they are responsible to conduct the absorbed water and minerals from the root to the different part of the plant. And a tube is formed from the root to the leaf, that is the vessel. It has been observed that this type of vessels are present. This type of structure is present here. It is completely lignified. Completely lignified. But have certain, suppose this one is the first vessel. Now we will form the second vessel. The same way, suppose this one is there. This is called lumen. It is called lumen. And it has been observed that the path is also being formed generally. And this central part is already dissolved. So if water will insert here, then directly there is no any problem. It will move from this to this, or it may be like this. This type of root is formed by the water and minerals which will be absorbed by the root and go to the different part of it. But in case of tracheids, it has been observed that the tracheids are like this. This type of a structure is formed and the path will be formed here. So the movement of the water is like this. So this movement is not smooth. This one is easier rather than this. It means that these vessels are more developed rather than tracheids. The same way, the angiosperm is more developed than gymnosperm. In addition to that, tracheids and vessels, this xylem parenchyma provide nutrients because it is living in nature, and this xylem fiber, which is called bast cell, they provide assistance by binding. It is also made up of the sclerenchymatous tissues, so it is a dead cell. It will be the dead cell, it is only the living cell. Now come to the third, next permanent tissue, that is called phloem. It is called phloem. Phloem is also the conducting tissue. It has been observed that the phloem is responsible for the conduction of food from leaf to different part of the Their components are sieve tube or sieve cell. Number 2, that is called companion cell. Number 3rd, phloem parenchyma. And 4th one is the phloem fiber. Called bast fiber. Now, we will have to discuss the structure of this particular phloem. How this phloem is formed and how they conduct the water and prepared food from the one part to the another part of the pot. The firstly we will have to discuss about the sieve tube. In case of sieve tube, it has been observed that it is a long cylindrical structure. Long cylindrical structure. Suppose this one is the sieve tube. Inside this particular sieve tube is supported with the companion cell. Because if you study the embryological, if you go through the embryology, then we can say that both are the component of one cell. One cell divide the one cell. Suppose one cell divide to two cells. One is responsible for this one, and another is responsible for this. So they are sisterly concerned, and they also provide the food to this particular support that. What happens? These two sieve tube have passages. So many passages are present in this particular sieve tube. So it is called sieve plate. It is called sieve plate. And in addition of this particular, the parenchymatous tissues are also present here. And bast fibers are connecting this two. This is the bast fiber. So overall we can say that these two are the sisterly concern and these two are the sisterly concern. But in case of the cell, this is present in the angiosperm. In case of the cell, it has been observed that the cell is like this. It has also companion cell like this. Another cell is here, and the companion cell is also present. In addition to that, phloem is present, and fibers are also present here. Now, what is the basic difference between this particular sieve tube and sieve cell? In sieve cell, it has been observed that the sieve plate is not like this continuous, but it has a spotted like this. It means the tube is not complete. The flow of the food material is not like this. So you can say that it is more developed rather than that. In addition to that, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers all are present here also. Both are sisterly concerned. And sieve tube is responsible for the formation of the tube-like structure conducting fibers, and the companion cell and the phloem are living part of the phloem, and this fiber and the sieve tube is the non-living. This is all about the permanent tissues. Now we will discuss after the next lecture what are the structure of the epidermis, the cortex, endodermis, and the arrangement of the phloem and